What's up, podcast fans? It's your buddy Adam, the PhD, the previously heavy dude, and this is a very special episode of the Million Pound Mission podcast. Now, you're going to get to listen in as I do a one-on-one coaching session with one of my clients for my Transformation ReBoot program. We're going to dig deep into their top transformation danger zones and come up with actionable steps they can implement right away. And you need to listen in and you can implement those same steps to get better results for yourself. Now, be sure to hang out after the episode to learn how you can do a free 10-day trial inside of my Transformation ReBoot program. All right, let's dive into the coaching session. All right, Lindsay, welcome to your hot seat session. What would you like to focus on this time?
I think I want to talk about using some sort of tool to help me gauge like how much food I actually need, like when I am actually hungry and when I am actually full, because I feel like I'm really bad at that. I actually had like a pretty good week this week. I had a lot of successes over the weekend, like that I was really proud of.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like I felt like I did pretty well overall. I mean, there were a couple of days where the activity wasn't good, and I haven't really done a great job with my water goal the last couple of days. But I got back to it yesterday, so that was good. But I'm still gaining weight. So even though I feel like I've made a lot of improvements in my nutrition, there's obviously still something going on. And I mentioned to you before, like, especially when I was on vacation the other week, like sometimes I just eat to the point where I'm like overly full, but I don't realize it until it's too late.
Yeah, I think like doing maybe a 28-day cycle where you track your calories, your macros, like just entering everything in just to get the data for, let's see how many calories we're actually consuming. And that could give us a nice baseline to see like, okay, here's a general range that we would shoot for. And plus it's just cool information to have too. And it might be an eye opener. Plus tracking calories and macros and all that is a super pain in the ass when you are eating out. So you'll eat out less, which is, I think, a huge part of all the issue that you deal with. Is all these like mystery calories that happen when you aren't in control of like prepping everything. And then we overeat that and it's just like this really calorie dense stuff. So, I mean, I think that would be a pretty darn good idea is to get in like I use MyFitnessPal and it's super easy and it's a little bit of upfront work to like you enter in some different recipes or meals or things. But then once, if you eat certain things, pretty regularly, then it kind of remembers that and you can plug it in and it takes you just a few seconds to zip it in there. And then you see your breakdown and you'll see, and it's not like, let's see how little we can eat. It'd be more, especially like the first week to 2 weeks, I would say eat if you're hungry. Let's track and just see what type of calorie numbers you need just to be satiated and full and fueled well. And then we can kind of manipulate from there because maybe your carb count is super high or maybe we need more protein or whatever. So I think it'd just be an interesting little test to do to see what kind of data we come up with. So you think that's something that's doable or is that?
Well, the reason why I'm hesitant to do that is because I tracked calories and macros for a long time, like a couple of years. And not only did I not lose weight, but like it became a little bit of an obsession. Like I felt like the main reason why I stopped doing it is because I was like looking at my day and like, how do I feel like I never have time? And I realized like, your phone tracks your screen time. So it would tell me like how many hours I was spending in like this calorie counting app and sort of ridiculous. So I actually kind of felt like it got me to an unhealthy place because like, not only was I frustrated about not seeing results, but I was like obsessing over, how many calories is in this.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the thing is though, like you're in a much different place. You've got somebody like me to remind you like, okay, that's not what it's about, and kind of get you out of your own head. Like that's something that our little partnership team, Adam and Lindsay, it's been me going, okay, let's get out of your head about this and let's shift the mindset and collect data. Because really, I mean, there's just not going to be some magic thing that I can be like, oh, do this, and that's going to tell you when you're done eating. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just need more data. And if I see, well, damn, you're eating 5,000 calories every day, this is something that we can fix. Or you're having, 1,000 grams of carbs every day, like that's something I can fix. So it's just more about getting more data for me to analyze. So you don't even have to analyze it. And literally, I spend less than 5 minutes per day entering all my stuff in there. So if you have 5 minutes,
I mean, I was like tracking like every cup of black coffee. I tracked 2 calories.
Yeah. 5 minutes a day. Even if you do that 5 minutes a day total, like it's so easy to do. Like I don't know what app you're using, but if you may have been like etching it in stone or something.
I've used MyFitnessPal before, and then I started using Lose It, and I thought that Lose It was a lot easier, but I still felt like I was constantly in that app with everything that I was tracking.
Well, it's kind of like what's worth it to you. Like if you want me to really be able to help you, like I said, I can't just pull a rabbit out of my hat and go, and this is the magic thing, unless I get more data. And that, like, if it's worth it to you to track for even like 14 days and just go in there, enter stuff in, and maybe the fact that it's a pain in the ass, like you shouldn't be eating all day long anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're just in there all day long, that means I think we need to get you in a habit of like, if we're out being social, that doesn't mean we have to go out and eat with people, or, like you can connect with people without eating with people. You don't have to have snacks and stuff like that, on a flow all day long. Like we have to kind of make a disconnect with food a little bit. And like, I can exist and I eat to fuel myself. And it's not like, it doesn't have to be the most fancy, best tasting, unique meal ever. Like I can eat some hard-boiled eggs and be cool with that, and have some things that we can track and just get those little hits of nutrition. So I think the next evolution, we've got a better grip on the cheats and all that. We're really making some great progress. We're getting good weekend wins. So I think the next evolution is just kind of creating that wider separation of social, food, and just be like, food is fuel, and we can track some data and get me a little bit more deeper into that edge of things. I think that'll take you to the next level where we can start looking at calorie balance and be like, okay, like I'm not big on calorie tracking overall, but I feel like in your case, it makes sense just because that's kind of where I'm in the dark about a little bit. And I can say, all right, if something's like way just not making sense at all, like one thing is super high or the calories are super high or even super low. Like that's another thing. So if you're eating 900 calories a day, you're not going to lose weight on that either.
Right.
So
no, I never ate that little, but like I kind of played around with like eating less, like 1,300 calories, or eating more, like 1,800 calories.
Yeah.
And it was just so frustrating because it didn't seem to matter.
Yeah. Well, I think again, like I wouldn't have you tracking it to lose weight. I'd have you tracking it so I can figure out how to help you lose weight is more, so I would view it as that. And I would just give it a 14-day run and say, all right, I'm not going to judge myself over the data that I'm collecting. I'm not going to get upset. Like honestly, I would just track the calories and not weigh yourself during that entire time. That way you don't even have that whole mind game going on at all. It's like, am I hungry or am I not? And just kind of go through a normal 14-day period. Let's see where everything shakes out. And then I can get a real snapshot on what is actually happening here. I think, I mean, I could do a lot with that data. So that's, then let's kind of, I'll put the ball in your court. And if it makes sense for you to do it, then well, if it doesn't, then, no big deal. We'll figure something else.
I don't know. Maybe it was some people on your podcast. I'm not sure. But like, I've heard some podcasts where they've talked about using like a hunger scale. So like not tracking, but using like kind of a rating system from like -10 to +10 of like, how hungry am I actually? And when do I need to stop eating? Like, think that that is effective or no?
I mean, yeah, but if you're already in your head about this stuff, you're going to get in your head and talk yourself out of that damn scale. Like you're like, oh, I'm obviously starving. I need this, this dessert, because we're making those.
Be honest.
In the moment, we're acting and thinking emotionally, not rationally. So that little voice is being like, hell yeah, we need dessert because I'm still hungry. And like that's an emotional thought, not a rational thought. So, I mean, I like that. I like the idea of that, but I think, that maybe that's something we can implement down the road a little bit, but it's more like I would use that thinking forward of, okay, I'm getting ready to go to dinner, and here's where I'm at on the hunger scale before I start the dinner, because I feel like if we're already in the dinner and then desserts coming and we're trying to figure all this out, like, I don't think that's going to work real well. So, that's, more of the like, how big of a meal should I order? How hungry really am I heading into the whole thing?
Right.
That I feel like would make more sense to me.
Okay. Yeah. Because I mean, that's kind of what I've been trying to do like these last couple of days is like, just how much food do I even need to put on my plate, you know? Whereas before, like when I was tracking calories, I would look at like, okay, well, how many calories is that? And if I felt like it was too much, then well, I better eat less.
Yeah.
But like I was never really listening to my body.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, the nice thing too now, like I said, with the whole calorie tracking and getting macros and data, like, that's something where I'm not going to let you sit there and screw with your calories and be like, oh, I'm only going to do 500 a day, or that's too many calories. So that's like, if we set some sort of goal, the goal is the goal. It's not, it's like people that weigh themselves every day and then change what they're doing every day based off of what the scale tells them. I'm like, you know, we'll push towards a healthy calorie goal or healthy macro breakdown goal. And then we just assess the situation, like, cool, we lost 2 pounds. How are we feeling mentally? How are we feeling energy wise? Make a few tweaks there. And so it's not like this constant, I feel like before you're feeling all that pressure of, okay, macros, pain in the butt, not losing, pain in the butt, and then making these like constant decisions all day long, every day, that in this like little war going on in your head. So I'd like to kind of wipe the slate clean with that and use me as kind of the backstop and be like, listen, we're not going to shift any of that. You don't have to make any different decisions. We're just shooting for that. And even before we even get there, it's just, let's see what a normal looks like right now. And, like when I have people start keto, I have them go 14 days where they just eat until they are full, track the calories. And that's how we set their caloric goal is eating till you're full, not trying to lose weight, not trying to starve yourself, none of that. And then we use that as the baseline and we make tiny little drops or tiny manipulations to spark a weight loss. And it's not a huge shift. It's less than what people usually think they have to shift. And more often than not, I'm telling people to eat more and it works.
So I'm thinking that if I am going to do this, I should probably just like write down what I'm eating throughout the day and then put the calories in at the end of the day.
That makes a lot of
So
sense.
I think if I'm looking at it as I'm going, that's going to be where like that kind of obsessiveness comes in. So yeah, I'll think about that, like just writing in a food journal what I've eaten and then with portions and everything so that I can actually go back in and track it later.
Yeah. Yeah. And just give me 14 days and then email that over to me. That way I can just look at it and be like, okay, this is, or you can even, we can friend each other on MyFitnessPal and I can see all your stuff. So that'd be even easier. I mean, I know it's a little bit outside your comfort zone. We've had some issues with that, but just, you've got a different support network now. So I would at least give it a shot. And I really like that last idea that you had about just journaling, and then that way it's done. You're not going, oh my God, that's too much. That sounds like a lot of calories, and then it's just done. We enter in all the stuff and it's logged away, and then you go to the next thing. And I like that a lot. I like that. As long as you'll, promise you'll sit down and log that out every day. I think it'll be good information, at a minimum, it's good info that I can take. And like I said, it's more, let's look for just a glaring issue that we could easily fix that will make a difference. Because if there's something that's just hanging out there and you're eating just a million grams of carbs, I'm like, okay, this makes a lot of sense. We can change this one simple thing and you're going to see results. So that's kind of what we're looking for more than anything.
Okay. All right. That sounds
cool.
Good.
Doable?
Yeah.
All right. And I'm proud of you. Like, I know you're getting some serious weekend wins. You've been battling this whole weekend cheat thing and it's getting better. And I love seeing your posts in the group when you're out there, talking about wins. I'm like, so you've worked hard for that. So that's something.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot better. That's for sure.
Yep. I'm super pumped about it. I saw that post today. I'm like, yes, Lindsay. So I'm your biggest cheerleader. you know.
Awesome. Thanks, Adam.
Hey, thanks for hanging out for a minute after the episode. I hope you got a ton of value out of that coaching session. Now, if you are ready to reclaim control over your health and be a part of an amazing community and support system, I want you to head on over to millionpoundmission.com and start your free 10-day trial inside of my Transformation ReBoot program. Now, as part of this program, you get to do monthly one-on-one strategy sessions with me, just like you heard here today. We also do weekly small group support sessions, monthly deep dive discussions, and the daily interaction and support you'll get inside of our community page is unlike anything you have ever experienced in your fitness journey. Now, I know that you're probably somebody that is willing to put in the effort to reach your transformation goals. And if you allow me to add some structure, accountability, and support around that effort, you'll be able to gain amazing momentum and feel unstoppable. So head on over to millionpoundmission.com and start your risk-free 10-day free trial of the Transformation ReBoot program. My friend, I will look forward to doing your welcome video chat session soon.